And welcome to Homestead for a Living. Gabby here today, and I'm inside because it's raining, and frankly I don't want to get wet, so I'm gonna talk to you from inside our living room today. Today I wanted to touch on a question that I hear a lot when I'm having consultations with clients or just in regular conversation with other small farmers and homesteaders like Matt and I. Do I need to be on social media? Most of us have a love-hate relationship with social media, so I understand why most homesteaders and farmers hesitate to promote their businesses on these different platforms. And if you aren't on social media, you're probably, or maybe if you use it very sparingly, you're probably dealing with a few challenges. So first, a very common problem for small business owners who do use social media is that they invest a lot of time into it and see very little engagement, let alone sales. Some small business owners, especially in the farming and homesteading space, don't agree politically with some of the statements, philosophies, and actions of social media companies, and therefore they really hesitate to get on it. And then third, a lot of small business owners feel like creating content for social media cannibalizes the time they could be spending making their products. So today I wanted to address the big elephant in the room and give my 2 cents on why or why not homesteaders and farmers should incorporate social media into their marketing strategy. So a few things I think you should consider when you're thinking about having your business participate in social media are, first, what is your goal with social media? Social media isn't only a good tool, a useful tool for things like reaching potential customers, engaging with them, and selling to them. For some businesses, especially for small farmers and homesteaders who may not even have websites, social media can be an effective and affordable method of providing customer service. So most customers aren't going to spend a lot of time, even if you do have a website, searching that website for your contact information. And in our mobile-first world, just sending a text to someone via a messenger on Facebook is oftentimes the quickest way for a customer to get in touch with you, and the most native way, the way they're just more comfortable communicating. So social media, for that reason alone, for customer service, may be a vital resource for your business. Businesses can also use social media to build a community around their products. So Facebook groups have been leveraged by local businesses to connect with their desired demographics or to create an exclusive community of them through their brand. So you can post into other people's groups, but you can also create your own. At the end of the day, though, most businesses do either want engagement or sales, and engagement on social media typically goes hand in hand with your success at generating word of mouth recommendations. So if you want to quickly increase how fast word travels or spreads about your business, you should consider getting involved on social media. As far as selling your products on social media, there are types of ad campaigns, especially when it comes to Facebook advertising there's one specifically called a $1 a day strategy, and it can help you actually reach the 3 main social media goals: awareness, engagement, and conversion. And conversion just means making sales. But before you dive too deep into that and try to mimic that sort of strategy on your own, you really want to get help from a knowledgeable marketer, because you will get frustrated if it doesn't work for you, and it probably won't work for you if you haven't done a lot of Facebook advertising and you haven't kept up with all the changes that the algorithm all the changes in the algorithm that they've made. And so it's really important to work with someone who's been keeping up with those updates and also knows kind of the art and science of marketing as well. So you don't want to attempt this without having at least a consultation with someone, because you'll just discount the platform altogether before you really see what it can do. Another factor you want to consider is what are you even trying to sell through social media, and who are you trying to sell to? So are you sticking to physical products with a short shelf life, or will you be incorporating shippable products and web-based products like courses and ebooks? If you're specializing in something like a local CSA, you may be able to get by on your local connections and word of mouth, at least for a little while, until you get into some sort of hyper growth phase. And then are you growing, or are you creating for customers or for businesses like restaurants, grocery stores, or even catering companies? If you're hoping to reach businesses or business owners, you may need to be on a platform like LinkedIn instead of, or in addition to, the most widely used platforms like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I hate to say TikTok because I don't like it either. But there may be a time and a place for that depending on the demographic of people you're trying to reach. Still though, many businesses will like to see that a farm they might be considering partnering with has a social following that business can also tap into for their own customer base. So a presence on these primary platforms could be invaluable in this way. And then lastly, another factor I want you to think about is, how do you like to communicate? This is a really important factor that I think a lot of people in my field of marketing don't really talk about enough. As a small business owner, you can't possibly be on every platform and create every type of content. You would be doing that all day. So although content like memes and video tend to get a lot more engagement than other types of content, I do always advise small business owners to start creating content however they like to communicate. For example, Matt's really good at getting in front of the camera at a moment's notice and sharing his thoughts and advice. I, on the other hand, prefer writing articles, and I have to write out exactly what I'm going to say in a video before I sit down to shoot it. So it took me a while to get used to. It took me a while, like 2 years of writing articles for another publication that Matt and I worked on, and other publications that I worked on separately, to really feel like I was ready to tackle video. And that's okay, and I'm still not good at it, but I'm still doing it and hopefully helping people. So, moral of the story, if you like taking photos, take photos. If you like making videos, make videos. If you like writing, write. Do whatever sort of content creation that will keep you committed to posting consistently to social media. So now I just want to run through a few example scenarios, situations of when I think you need social media and when I think you may be able to get by without it. So here are a few situations where I feel it is very important for a small farmer or homesteader to have a presence on social media. If you haven't started your commercial venture, but you want to start building an audience, be on social media. If you offer shippable or online products, absolutely, you should consider being on social media. If you have something important to say, let's say you're passionate about educating others, or maybe you just have a really interesting perspective or on your area of expertise within gardening and homesteading, or just a really interesting way of delivering information, you should share it, and you should be on social media. Here are a few situations where I believe a small farmer or homesteader could get away without having a presence on social media. If you're running your market garden or CSA as a side hustle, you may only have capacity to serve a certain amount of people that you could probably reach through word of mouth, so you may not need to be on social media. Another scenario that you would not need to be on social media for is you're selling perishable products to a local audience and you have enough connected connections. So are you the mayor's CSA guy or gal? You're probably good and probably don't need social media. Another thing, if you can't resist getting into arguments on social media, then it's probably best to just not go there. And then if you're philosophically against it, I think that's an extremely valuable reason to not be on social media. And how I want to end this video is by giving you some creative ways to engage with social media, even if you don't want to be on it yourself, or even to represent your business on there. So if you don't want to get involved with social media, perhaps there are ways you can leverage the social media accounts of people within your social network. Word of mouth is, at the end of the day, the single best way to get awareness of your farm, and you can still receive the benefits social media provides in this realm without being on it. So a couple ideas I have for you. The first one, create an email list of ambassadors for your farm. Email them with a graphic or image of your produce frequently and ask these ambassadors to share it on their social media platforms on your behalf. You really might be surprised by how honored and how grateful people are to be asked to be a part of this kind of exclusive group. Plus, people trust recommendations more from their peers than from a business owner anyway. So this is a solid strategy, even if you are already on social media. Another idea is you could partner with local vendors on a product package. For example, let's say you've made a peach jam and a local soap maker who is active on social media makes a peach soap. You could offer a limited run of a bundle of these products and have the soap maker promote on your behalf. There are so many ways you can create value for customers with or without social media, so I hope this video gave you something to think about. If you have any questions, email me at Gabby, Gabby, at marketingbygabby.com, and stay tuned for the next video in my Marketing a Farm with Nothing series. See you next time on Homestead for a Living.